all over the world.
Box
cutters. Matter of fact, we seen in Israel, remember over the fall, it was a priest that was, a rabbi that was killed with a hatchet. Palestinians were running over people in Israel, in the Holy Land.
Yeah.
Remember this over the summer? They declared that a day of rage, the Palestinians did, to take out, to find a Jew and kill him.
Yep.
Not with guns, with cars, with butchers, with knives.
And the interesting thing is, while our world is on fire, our state legislators are working on the most ridiculous, mundane, unbelievably stupid laws to add more and more and more burden on more and more pieces of paper. It's shocking. This has been an issue that I've been working on. I want to get to that. But I want to go to our caller. We have John on the line. He wants to talk to us about what Obama meant by negative rights in the Constitution. Good morning, John.
No, John's not on the phone.
Oh, John's not on the phone. Oh, all right. John wants us to talk about the negative rights.
That's okay.
That's interesting. Now, my understanding is what an author said about negative rights. If health care is a negative right, then the state has an obligation to keep people from preventing me from getting health care and then discriminating against me. If health care is a positive right, then the state has an obligation to provide it for me. So in other words, what Barack Obama believes that the Constitution is a set of negative rights, it's stating that the state can't get involved in what I'm doing. And that's personal responsibility, that's personal freedom. Whereas if he has his positive rights, it means that the state can give you everything that you want. And when they can give you everything that they want, they can take away everything you have. That's exactly right. So that's the only...
And they're going to do it through your own vote.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You're going to vote your way into the shackles.
Let me tell you, we vote people into office to protect our rights. It's shocking. Over the weekend, I had a long weekend, so I had a little bit of extra time. And what I did, because I didn't want to do my dishes, I started looking at House journals. There's online, you can find all kinds of, in fact, every day there's a House journal that's prepared and presented onto the government websites. Okay. Now, I looked at the month of December, and our state legislature was only in session 10 days in the month of December. In those 10 days, they brought forth 19 resolutions for a first reading, I think, 40 resolutions for a second reading, 53 resolutions for a third reading, and every resolution that comes before the House for a third reading is voted upon. Now, on these 53 resolutions, they voted almost unanimously to pass this particular bill, whatever it was, whatever liberty-limiting issue it represented. So, on 10 days, these people enacted 53 new pieces of legislation, and they've been doing this for centuries, every day. Every day. And I don't understand where that mindset came from. Where did they get this mandate that we, in fact, want them to continue to add more and more and more burdens upon our individual liberties?
What they're trying to do is justify their existence. And
but that's not
what it
their
is.
job.
Absolutely is not. And that's why... just like we know certain groups, they go out. They just like the ambulance lawyer. They go out and they chase down the ambulance. Well, the people in the government are the same way. They have to keep something. They have to
Well, you know what? It's the job of we the people to inform them of why we are putting them in high places
they don't forget
and paying
about this
them
limited
decent
government.
salaries. This is not so that they can set up a network of bureaucrats that come down to swarm upon the people and crush every opportunity that we have for freedom or honest business Now,
That's true. Every now and then they kick back something to to one of their buddies that might have been one of their donors. They kick back something back to the community. Somebody complaining about like you said, they don't read the bills.
Yeah, and then
before they sign the bills.
And then what they do is
they
create a summary for all these bills, so you can read a summary. And if you want to get through a bunch of information, that's all you do is focus on the summary. But the summary was written by a person with an agenda.
Yes.
And so you have 3 sentences that sound really good.
Yes.
And then you've got 15 pages of just utter nonsense. And yet, the legislator will then use those 3 pages of really good stuff, or 3 paragraphs of really good stuff, to use in his next campaign literature to act as though he's done so much good for us. I mean, it's shocking. In addition to all of that old business that these men and women took care of in the 10 days of December, they also brought forward 37 new pieces of legislation that they want to work on, I guess, in the coming years. My question is, where is the legislator that's going to stand up and scream out, stop this?
That we have enough laws already.
We have enough laws already.
Well, let me just look at this one thing. Now, I'm always looking for this hidden bomb to come out of what Bill Clinton did years ago with that taking away the low sulfur coal out in Utah.
Okay.
You know, we are hearing right now that, and he did this by executive order. Same thing that Obama's doing. Now, of all of the laws that we enact, what you're talking about now, look at all of the executive orders. There's about 5 different categories of single-handed operations that the president is able to do. And we don't even include them into all of the laws that Congress is writing that this guy signs.
Oh, good grief.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm getting a headache. It's
and now,
shocking.
you know, Bill Clinton was impeached.
Yeah.
And this goes to what's going on right now with Agema in thinking, well, look, we need to put some charges out on this guy.
That's right. I want to put a stop to what he is doing, and bringing out articles of impeachment will stop him.
Yeah.
He may not be formally convicted, but at least he'll be stopped from doing. You know what? We've got a guy calling in. If you don't mind, Phil, I'm going to interrupt. I want to get to our callers as fast as we can. Dave from Adrian wants to talk about gun rights. Good morning, Dave.
Hi, how are you this morning?
I'm doing very well. How are you, sir?
Oh, having the time of my life. Thank you for asking.
Excellent. Well, now, give us an idea of what you're thinking about in terms of gun rights.
There was an article some time back, if you care to look it up. The title would be Americans Never Give Up Your Guns. And you would want to add Matt Rodina in with that.
Okay.
It is a fellow from Russia talking about the time of the Bolshevik Revolution, where they gathered up all of the guns and disarmed the Russians.
Well, you know, that's true. In fact, there's lists and dates and times and series of actions that were taken throughout the world in different countries where the first thing they did was take away the guns, and then they annihilated the population. Dave, go ahead.
Exactly. One of the sentences toward the end that I remember is, it's not that leftists dislike guns. What they dislike are guns in the hands of those who are not lockstep with their agenda.
Oh, that's very well said. Dave, we've got another caller on the line. We're going to get to him. Thank you so much for calling, and continue to listen and call in and become part of the community of art of Michigan. Thank you again so much.
I believe
Good morning.
In the Second Amendment, it's there written on the paper.
Good morning, President Obama. Thank you for reminding us about the paper. We have Guido from Sterling Heights. He wants to talk about Obamacare. Good morning, Guido.
Good morning, Janice. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you, sir?
That's good. Just fine. I just wanted to call in to say that for the 50th time, Obama has had to veto the House bills to try to abolish Obamacare. But you don't see that in the media that often. You hear it from time to time. But we haven't heard that he's done it 50 times.
You know, isn't that the truth of it? And we never will hear of it. In fact, I was thinking the other day when Paul Ryan in the House of Representatives wanted to bring this bill to the president's desk, and they're defending it, saying, well, at least he's going to have to veto it. But the truth of the matter is the media, as complicit and compliant as they are in the socialist takeover of this country, the media is going to twist it and say, look at what the Republicans are doing again. They are still doing this, and it's settled law, etc., etc.
How many vetoes has Obama issued?
Now, how many vetoes? Personally, I didn't know that I didn't know that Obama was actually vetoing these bills. I thought, in fact, no one was bringing the bills to his desk, that they were stopped in the Senate. So the House of Representatives has been trying and trying and trying in some ways that, to me, are not good enough because they aren't.
The reason why I bring up the number of vetoes, because if you remember, George Bush only issued one veto.
Okay.
In 4 years or something like that. And the Congress went in and helped over, the Republican Congress went in and helped override the veto.
Oh, isn't that amazing? Guido, you've waited till the end of the first half-hour segment to call in. I appreciate your call, and call again, please.
I sure will.
Stay
Thank
tuned.
You.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Take care. We are coming upon the... Pardon me?
Yeah, I seen they did advertise it, and they used the acronym of the bill, ACA. They didn't say that. They just said the president. I seen a headline that President Obama, vetoed ACA. So a lot of people don't know what they said. Well, what is that right there? Or they might even use the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah.
And see, and that word right there. Well, hold on. People saying why they trying to repeal the Affordable Care Act. I mean, I'm only paying 3 times as much as I paid for my insurance 6 years ago. Why would they want to veto veto that? But the Republicans, they need to have a strategy when they veto right away. All around the state, it should have been congressmen and in their states all over.
That's right.
It should have been on the news.
That's right. That's what we've got to do. We've got to utilize the media that we have. Stay with us after these important messages. We're going to talk to Republican Party National Committeeman Dave Agema. He's a man on a mission, and we want to talk to him about some of these things he's working on.